This printer has some interesting specs. The specs of the bed is 150 by 130 by 200 on the Z. And I've got to say, the build volume on this thing has not been an issue for me. It comes with a display here, which is very, very tactile, and the interface on here is very, very good, and very, very, you know, it's very, very interesting. At least in my opinion it is. It's nothing like any other, firmware. It reminds me of Marlin. It probably is Marlin. Now, we have the extruder here, and this extruder is actually really good. This is the, clone with air quotes, clone E3D hot ends that still work really well, and it actually prints extremely well, and I've not had one clog on this printer, knock on wood. Now, when I got this printer, one little difficult thing is, I'm going to try to, I'm going to try to help you guys out. Putting the spool holder on here is a little bit of a pain. Let me explain. So, let me just, focus in on here. Right here where my finger is, this is a nut. Let me see if I can get a good shot of that. There's a nut right here, and this is a spool holder. Guys, put the nut in first and then screw in the spool holder. Some people are having mistakes about that. They're putting the spool holder, then the nut in. That is incorrect. Do not do that. Trust me. You'll thank me later. Now, this printer is all aluminum. It also reminds me of the build of the MP Mini 3D printer, which I have been not a fan of for a little while. The reason why I like this one so much is because of one upgrade, which I'll get into later when I talk about the things I like and don't like about this printer. Now, the bed is not heated, so just be aware of that. It looks heated, right? Kind of looks like a heated bed. There's even a little caution logo right here. How well I can get into that. Look it says warning. Yeah, so, this material was used for a heated bed. And don't let the build volume fool you. As you can see, it thinks it can go all the way up to here. But in fact, it only goes out where this ends. This part ends. And as you can see, that's not very far. So, don't get fooled by the build volume. The reason why they have that is just to show that, hey, look at that. We have a big printer. But I don't know why Wanhao or IIIP, aka Monoprice, did this. Because it really makes no sense why they did this, besides tricking the user and thinking that it's a bigger build volume. But it's not that big of a complaint, and I got over it pretty quickly. To level a bed, there's actually a preset in the firmware, and there's these little knobs. As you can see, these are very, very nice knobs, and they turn very, very nicely, like any other 3D printer. However, it's extremely easy to level the bed, and the bed does seem to stay level. So if you're wondering about that, yes, it stays level. However, just be aware that you will need to put glue on this bed because of the lack of the heated bed. Again, it's not that big of a deal. And everything sticks perfectly to it. Now let's talk about the pros and cons of this printer. I talked about the technical aspects of this printer, but now we're going to talk about the pros and cons about it. One thing is it uses a micro SD card. I don't know how well you can guys see this. Let me just get a good zoom in. It's a 1 GB micro SD card that they include with this printer. However, it is extremely small and very, very easy to lose. If you guys know anything about me, I hate micro SD cards. They're easily lost, and a lot of computers don't actually support them. You have to get an adapter. Where most laptops actually have an SD card slot, internal. So, that's why I'm a little bit hesitant about the micro SD card. I get that you can get a micro SD card to a full-size SD card adapter, but I just find that a little bit crude. Their bigger machines have a full-size SD card. Why can't this one have a full-size SD card? Monoprice, please contact me about that. I'll be very curious to see. Now, another pro about this printer is finally. And what I mean by finally, now I can get a nice close-up with this new camera I got. But as you can see, there is a lead screw in there. That is not a threaded rod. It used to be a threaded rod, and it always made me really upset that Monoprice did that. And you also can see that the rods are much thicker, and they actually use proper bearings now. Awesome. Thank you, Monoprice. as you can see, that's what the gantry looks like from here. Another thing I like about this printer is the overall shape of it and the display. The display is actually really good in terms of color. It only shows black and white, of course, but it's actually a really nice display with a really nice clicky knob. And I really like it. The display is awesome, if you're wondering, and it's really quite, it's awesome. What else can I say about it? Another thing I like about it, internal power supply. As you can see, when I turn it on, there's the display, and it's pretty quiet. That's like one of my cons. I'll get to my cons later. It's not the quietest machine ever, but, it's fine. It's okay. Another thing I like about this printer is that there's this fan right here, and you might be saying, oh no, not a part cooling fan. Well, this actually does the same thing as the mini, what is it called? Monoprice Select Mini. And it actually directs the air to the fence and as a part cooling fan. So there's no more worries about your print not having enough cooling. I've not had one issue with cooling on this guy. Also, the bed leveling is very easy, like I explained earlier in the video. It's very, very simple, and I really like it. Another thing I quite like about this printer is all the machining that they did to it. What I mean by that is that for the price tag of this printer, everything's metal. There's not one plastic part on the outside of this printer. Besides this is the filament. But, I mean, this is injection molded very, very well as well. So I'm really happy. Now we'll get into the downfalls. And there's actually quite a few that I hesitated to include in the first impressions. Which, by the way, people thought that was the review, and I got a little bit upset about that, but it's okay, don't worry about it. So, as you can see, let me show you something. So, let me move that out of the way. Let me show you something. I don't know how well you guys can see that, but that X belt is misaligned with this. So, I might have to get a new one of these, because it actually is showing in the prints. And I find that a little bit disappointing that they didn't have enough quality control. I get the price, they couldn't really, but, guys, please, just next time, just put a better bearing on there. That's all I'm really asking for. I know, I don't ask for much. Another thing I don't really like is the fan noise. It sounds like a freaking jet airliner. Not even joking. Now, it doesn't sound too loud in here because I have like 18 printers running right now. Of course, that's an exaggeration. I have 21. But you know what I mean. It's just like a little bit, it's just a little bit loud for my liking, and I wish I used a bit better fans. But again, for the price, I'm not complaining. Another thing I don't really like is I think for the price they could have fit a heated bed. A heated bed makes 3D printing much easier. I get it's cheaper because you can use a cheaper power supply and you can spend less on the bed. But, and the interface here, even though it's good, it's still a little bit weird. The display's a little bit smaller than I would like. But, I mean, that's a really big nitpicking thing. So, I mean, it's at a nice angle. I like how it's at an angle, but ouch. I mean, ouch. The display is pretty tiny. But, I mean, that's really all the complaints I have about this printer. It has been great. It has been great. This printer has been fantastic, actually. And, what I really like about it is just the sheer size of it and the price, which I'm going to get to. This printer is $150 on eBay. You heard me right. This printer is $150. Yes, I know what you're thinking. It's not the most expensive, but it's also not the cheapest. However, you can get the ANET A8, or you can get a ready-to-run 3D printer that prints better than the ANET A8. And I can tell you, it does print better. Now, it doesn't have the features of the ANET A8. The ANET A8 is just an interesting printer. But now, I'm going to show you a video about the print quality I'm getting off this guy, so you don't have to take my word off of it, and, yeah. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please still stay to the end if you want to see the prints. If not, then you can click off this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hopefully you like the new footage from my Sony Handycam. It's the Sony AX33, if you're wondering. And tell me, give me some, give me some feedback on this camera and how the microphone's set up. how everything's set up, and how I edited this video, because I'm now editing on Sony Vegas, and I'm actually getting kind of into the YouTube thing. I know I don't have too many subscribers, but I'm trying to get serious about it. But yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Please stay to the end for the 3D printing files and stuff. Hey guys, it's Redstone here, and today we are going to do a review of the MPI3 3D printer. And if you're excited about this review, then please smack that like button. This is a printer that I've been using for a couple days now, and I've gotten a lot of prints off of it. And I really like it, but you will have to see the review to see what I think about it and my final thoughts about it. Here is the extruder. The extruder is a very nice extruder. As you can see, there's a fan on it, and right around here there is a it's like an E3D style hot end, and I think it's a very good hot end. Also, it's a very interesting